Welcome here on the show, 360 Sport on Trust TV. Adeni G. Shafe. Moment there for Remo Stars. They did well, winning the league. Just 3 matches to go, and right now they are the champion of MPFL for this season after they've been pursuing for years. Well, just have to shout that particular shout with them. For Remo Stars, now they are champion and they are really celebrating, doing it in style ahead of other teams as they won their game against Niger Tornadoes. 1-0 was what they needed, and they got it. And right now they are celebrating. Looking at that team, MPFL, right now belonging to Remo Stars of Ikene, making a lot of historic moments there. At least for the past 2 years, they've been knocking at the door, just like a team that has been knocking at the door and they are yet to get the door open. I don't think that team know themselves. Soon we'll talk about it. But right now, Remo Stars did well and they were able at least win that particular trophy they've been running after. Congrats to Remo Stars, MPFL champion 2024-2025 season. And right now, they qualify also for Champions League. And let's see how far they will go on that particular one there. Well, right now, we're talking about MPFL, the champion. Let's look at the first story that has to do with the show. MPFL, Remo Stars, 2024-2025 league champion with 3 matches to actually go there. Well, congrats to them. They did well by being able to do it. And if you look at the graphics of that particular team, the winning, the celebration, how they look so beautiful, the colors of that team, they are called the Sky Blue team. And right now, they are doing so well for the fact that they were able to do it under Daniel Ogumondede, the coach of that team. Well, congrats to them once again. Right now, we'll talk about it with the crew in the studio. That has to do with, let me start from the suspect. That's Joseph Peter is here. Good to have you, Joseph.
Why am I always a suspect now?
Okay, they will know the reason why I call you suspect. You and Olawale Peters are suspect on the show. Okay, KB show, as Joseph call you. Joseph, KB is here. Kabiru Lawal is here. Good to have you, Kabiru.
It's my pleasure. Okay,
so nice one there. You look at Remo Stars, they've been able to do it after they've been knocking at the door. 2 seasons right now, they came second, and now they got at the 3rd time. And you look at the history of that team, since 2024, started as Dender. From there, they moved to become Remo Stars. And since 2016 that they came to the MPFL, they've been knocking, and now the deed has been done. They finally won the MPFL. Kabiru, let's start with Kabiru.
Well, actually, what one would attribute this to is, consistency in their records. For the past 2 years, they've been trying to be second on the table. But right now, they've clicked the championship, and it really speaks out for them because they really worked for it. Because looking at their antecedents in the matches played so far, you know that yes, at least it's a prize well deserved for the Remo Stars.
Okay, talking about Remo Stars, so at least you were almost taking it away because I take a jab at your team. Okay.
You know, you always take a jab at my team. I expect that, and that's why I'm always ready. But anytime I can have the opportunity to dodge it, I want to dodge it so that it will reduce, because it's on every show that you attack my team. But
wait, before you go for that, okay. No big ados with that. What am I looking at? Oh my goodness.
Okay,
let's have
no
it.
problem. But I can do this. All right, speaking about Remo Stars, I'm really happy for them. I'm happy because of 2 reasons. Number one, I'm happy for Remo Stars after having tried, like you said, knocked on the door twice, and now the 3rd time, it's to the good. Then secondly, I'm very happy an entirely different football club has actually won the football league. Privately owned, unlike the government-owned usual suspect of Eimba, Rangers, Rivers, Abia, Akwa. Those names, Canopilas, those names are not the ones that I mentioned now when it comes to, the Nigerian Football League, because Remo have come, they've stamped their feet. They have tried twice, they didn't get it. The 3rd time, now they have got it, and I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy for the coach. I'm so happy for whoever is a fan of Remo Stars, at least is a fresh breath, and hoping that they don't just win the league, but the fact that they've qualified for the African competition means that they can actually go and do it. And maybe they can just, be the ones to bring back the glory that we have, not tasted for a long time now when it comes to African competition.
Well, we're talking about Remo Stars there for what they've done. They've done well by being able to win the MPFL. Kabiru and Joseph have been in the studio talking about that. And really, the fact that Remo Stars won the league Aside that, also, it's been a long time from the, when you look at MPFL, you look at teams like Ocean Boys. When they won it last time, it was like a flash in the pan. They went down, but this time around, according to Joseph, they should maintain it, sustain, and make sure it's consistent. And right now, we hope that they will do it at the CAF competition where they find themselves. For Remo Stars, 2024-25 season is a big one for them because they were able to actually finally nail it, and they won it. Daniel Ogunwale, the coach of that team, also assistant coach when it comes to Super Eagles, really has been there, and he'll be able to do well alongside his friend, who actually defending champion. Now they are no longer the defending champion. It's now Remo Stars. Well, good one for them. I've been able to win the league, and have to give kudos to what they've done so far. Talking about Remo Stars winning the MPFL for this season, and from there, talking about the MPFL, the match day 35 matches they played. 10 matches. One was played on Friday before the remaining 9 were played on Sunday. Before that Sunday, Kano Pillars, they showed their class over there at Sani Abacha Stadium in Kano, and they were able to win their game convincingly 2-0. Ahmed Musa and Rabiu Ali, they were able to score those 2 goals, and they silenced visiting Rivers. In fact, that match, that was where Remo Stars started winning, because immediately Rivers United lost that game. It was obvious that if Remo should win, they will actually lead by 9 points, and rather 10 points. And 10 points from the remaining 3 matches, which is 9. That's 9 points. 9 from 10. They have at least, if they even lose the remaining 3 matches, they won the league by 1 point. Yeah. So, as it says, talking about the MPFL during the match day 35, I think that big matches were also were played. We saw that's Eyimba also playing against Rangers. We also saw Kano Pillars playing against Rivers United. The big guys really try to see how they will do well this season. But right now, Remo have been able to overshadow them and picked it. Okay, let me start from Joe, then we'll cross to Kabiru. This season so far, at least the league is over when it comes to winning right now. Aside Remo Stars, which other team would you pick that, okay, this team, I know Rivers are actually second on the log, yes. So this team really deserve, apart from Remo Stars now, to win this?
You know, if I had the powers to keep Ikorodu United where they would be able to qualify for African competition, like maybe CAF Confederations Cup, I really would, do it, because they have tried, they have shown that they want it, they've showed the hunger, and they have kept up. Like, it's not just the fact that Ikorodu United are where they are right now. Look at what was happening to them at the beginning of the season. It was almost as if they are going back to relegation until they changed coaches, and before you know it, look at how good they've been performing. So if I would reward any club in the Nigerian Professional Football League, it would be Ikorodu United, Ikorodu City, for what they have been able, or what they are looking to achieve so far. For me, they have achieved, but the problem is, I'm kind of, I'm scared for them. The reason why I'm scared for them is Eyimba is really coming back up in a rapid way. Eyimba won their last game. They've won their 2 games straight now, and I think Eyimba is 6th on the log, or 5th maybe. So Eyimba, to stop Eyimba from going to any continental competition will be very, very difficult. It will take resilience from Ikorodu United. It will take them winning the next 3 matches. Let it be a final for them. If not, I don't think they would keep down that ticket that they already have, because right now they are the 4th on the log, and they can actually go to one of these CAF competitions, and I'll be really happy if they actually end up doing that. Okay,
you pick Ikorodu City to beat the team you want to beat there. Okay, Kabir, MPFL, we know it's done and dusted, but they still have 3 matches to go. Aside Remo Stars, where are you pitching your tent?
Pillars.
Pillars. Kano Pillars?
Exactly.
But even, yes, I know they won their last game against Rivers United, and that actually at least pushed them up, but they are still not able to, edge the likes of Rivers ahead of them, Ikorodu City ahead of them, and you look at Rangers, Internet, and all of them. But right now, picking Pillars this season, the inclusion of Ahmed Musa, Shehu Abdullahi, and ageless Rabiu Ali has actually helped the team to achieve a lot. So tell us why you're going for Pillars.
The reason why I'm going for Pillars is, if you check out their game this season, it's been quite fantastic, and to some extent, at times you think they will win matches and they'll perform below par, which is normal in football. But if you are to rate them 100%, I think Kano Pillars is all way to go. Looking at their last match, we talked today before they even played that. Who was going to win? I know it was Kano Pillars. Let's forget about the home fans and the referee and all that. They have what it takes, to win that match. I wish they had played all their matches like this. They will have performed, much, much, much better. Now they've performed very well. But then I wish the last match, they could put the spirit they used to play in the last match to play the remaining matches.
Well, talking about the MPFL there, at least it's a wrap for Remo Stars. They've done it. At least every other team will still be looking at being able to get 9 points at stake. 3 more matches to go, and they can still make it. And some teams also can still escape relegation. But right now, let Remo Stars enjoy and savour the moment of winning the league right now. For being able to sustain it right from the beginning, they show class that they want to win the league. And they maintain the momentum since then, and no one could at least outpass them. And right now, they deserve all the accolades. Congrats to Remo Stars, Remo Stars for this season there. Well, away from the MPFL, we know that games were played in the NBA earlier today when it comes to the NBA, and we have to look at games being played, although we just have to at least allow to have a snippet of clips where we know that for the likes of Los Angeles Lakers, they just have to tighten their belt, because now game 4 and they are still trailing. They are trailing there, and it's not an easy task for them. And you look at the likes of Oklahoma City Thunder and Cavaliers. Those two teams, watch out for them. They are really doing so well. Boston Celtics to turn things around. And you look at New York Knicks. They are also having tete-a-tete with the other team. But as it is for Los Angeles Lakers, they need to brazen up if they are to make it, because already they are trailing 3-1. Kabiru, it's not an easy task right now, because this is game 4, and they are already 3-1. Pacers are really.
Yes. You see, the reason why the game is going on like this in NBA, I really like it, because at times it's not the players that you have that gather momentum, but the play of the moment. You could have big players, and small ones will come to outwit you. That's exactly what is happening right now. That's why they are trailing 3-1 in this NBA season right now. And if Lakers, if they are not careful about playing, Edward is there.
One more game.
Edward is there to do the dirty work for them.
Edward scored for the 3 points.
He scored for the 3 points. It's historical in NBA right now, because even what Steph Curry scored, he scored just 36 points. But for Anthony Edwards to edge 40-something points for his team, it means Lakers have to tighten up their belt, because... And
just a game, because if Pacers should win the next game, they're out of it.
That's all.
And then you look at... I'm still looking at OKC and Cavaliers. Let's be having the result there. Thank you so much. OKC and Cavaliers are really... The way they dominated the conferences, they are still dominating their own NBA games.
Sure. You see, when you talk about OKC and Cavaliers...
Playoffs.
When you talk about OKC and Cavaliers, most of the players that come from OKC are just damn good. Okay, we have the like of Westbrook, he's from OKC. Kevin Durant once played in OKC. People like this, clubs like this are not bound to be looked down upon, because they have started stars that, in fact, this right now in this season, I'm wishing them nothing but the all best. I'm not their fan, I'm a Gold State Warrior person, but then I love good basketball. Those two teams, this season, they have to be watched out for. Cavaliers and OKC. Nah, it's a rough.
But funny enough, despite this now, they may not just... I wish both of them actually play the final playoff. So that OKC and Cavaliers.
OKC and... well, I love what you said. You said you wish, but it's not going to be easy, because all the teams, you see, like Pistons are there, Bucks are there. Lakers right now, we can't shoot them up, because anything can still happen.
Boston Celtics
are there. Talking about the Golden State Warriors. All these people are just there. And look at what is happening to them right now. Okay, Jimmy Butler is not there for the Golden State Warriors. He has a groin injury. Talking about Lillian, their last match, he was thrown out and all that. But I know, right now we can't actually say this is who is going to win this season. This week will determine that, because the Lakers are all, I know they are still back to their drawing board, working out to see if
maybe the game will be 3-2.
Sure.
Okay, we're talking about the fourth game in the series of the NBA. Just at least we have to touch on that. And right now, we'll at least be able to show all the results and talking about what is happening there. It's still too early to call, although some teams are already leading 3-1, some are trading 2-1, some are 1-1, and it's still open because, for example, Lakers now can pick up the fifth game and then turn this around, making it 3-2, and who knows, 3-3, and then you have 4-3, and that's it. Right now, we move and talk about a team when their fans were hoping that they at least get a trophy this season. It seems Real Madrid are not ready. As it is right now, they lost against Barcelona after they were trying to see how you can make it. When it was 2-2, I saw a Real Madrid fan say, now today, now we get up, but it didn't work out. Barcelona really showed their class. That really, when it comes to the two of them playing, they will always find a way to dominate Real Madrid. Well, let's talk about Copa del Rey. Copa del Rey, where they fought hard, but right now we start with the clip and then we come back to the studio to talk about Barcelona edging Real Madrid 3-2 to leave the trophy. Let's start with the video quickly. 3-2 between Barcelona and Real Madrid. What a moment there for Barcelona. The Blaugrana celebrating winning against Real Madrid. All the season for the two teams. Right now, they won the Copa del Rey, and you can't take anything from Hansi Flick. 8 out of 8, all the final has got into, actually won. Well, congrats to Hansi Flick and the entire team of Barcelona being able to edge Real Madrid. That's the story we're looking at right now. Barcelona edge Real Madrid 3-2 to lift trophy. That's Copa del Rey. And right now, well, tough one there, very tough one, but at least Barcelona were able to triumph. Well, let's start from the Real Madrid, man. Both Real Madrid and Arsenal, they're your club. So, as it is, when that game was about to be played, I still remember you saying, well, I actually told that Barcelona could pick this because they always have an edge against Real Madrid. How do you feel seeing this particular game?
You know, I'm very, very much unhappy about the outcome of this particular game, especially, you know, going into the game, we all know that Barcelona have dominated Real Madrid since the season began. We've lost a couple of matches against them, and okay, if we had gone into the game and then we conceded a goal and it continued like that, maybe it wouldn't have been as much painful as it was, because going into the game, we conceded a goal, we turned the game around, 2-1 winning, even up to 80 minutes, only to lose the lead before the end of the game, and then lose again when everybody's mind has moved on to penalty. It's going to be a penalty because it was just a couple of minutes left before the second half extra time ends, when from nowhere Jules Koundé intercepted a pass from Modric and you know played that shot that Thibaut Courtois couldn't stop. So it was very, very painful for me personally, because I had hoped that if it goes to penalty, I mean, one-on-one, if you pair Thibaut Courtois and Szczesny, you would expect Courtois to save more penalties, right? So that hope that dashed, actually, it was very, very painful for me.
Now, talking about Luka Modric there, I think there was a moment of maybe emotions and pressure that made him to make that error. You
know, I don't know why he made that error, but if you say pressure, emotion, well, that's what experienced players are built for. That's why they are experienced players. That's why he is a veteran in that Real Madrid squad, and he shouldn't be the one to make those kind of mistakes. If Endrick had passed that, I wouldn't blame him. If it were the other way around, Brahim Diaz trying to pass to Modric, I wouldn't blame him because he's inexperienced. But players like Modric are built for situations like this. He shouldn't even drive that ball to the midfield at the first place, because it's like few minutes to the end of the game. He should take it wide. He should, even if whatever he wants to do, let him do it wide. But, you know, it's not just the Real Madrid, you know, it's not just Modric. I blame Ancelotti. The reason why I blame Ancelotti is because I know he's the best. For me, he's the best coach so far that I have, not Guardiola. For me, he's the best coach. But why would your team be winning a match and is, you know, up to forward? I mean, you have to respect Barcelona. They are good, and if they catch you on the counter, they will score, and that's what happened. I don't know why Vinicius management in football. That's what I expected. If they had done that, Barcelona wouldn't even have.
Very painful. I know you are pained right now. I'm so sorry about that.
I know you don't mean it.
I'm going to console you with one or two words.
You can say what you want to say, because I know you don't support Madrid.
No, it's not as if I don't support Madrid. There was something you said I want to correct.
Okay.
You said something about Madrid, that's football management. See, let me tell you something. When it comes to play, Barcelona on the field,
yes,
pressure will bound to come. You know why pressure will bound to come? On the first netted one, you equalize.
So if they are so tight, why are we
wait. You carried one, you equalized. It was precisely 2 minutes to go. You couldn't even go to the extra time.
Why wasn't
Rafinha ballooned 2 balls? You know.
Why wasn't he in the game? It was because Rudiger stopped him from being in the game.
Rudiger did not stop him. Look at Ono. Ono was there. Ono was there.
You know, substituted and I was complaining.
I'm coming. Is it Rudiger that wanted to beat him out to play? Because look at the possession. If you take out the ball possession, the throw-in, the free, you know Barcelona
when
were
you are
all
playing
out.
Against since Guardiola day, you can't take possession away from them.
Okay, you know what? We've been talking about Barcelona and Real Madrid in the studio. That's to do with the Copa del Rey final. What a match. It happens, at least emotions coming in, pressure and all that. But right now, Barcelona actually picked the trophy there, beating Real Madrid. Both of them did well. At least getting the 3-2 5-goal thriller is not an easy ride. At least that game entering extra time, going for penalty. What a moment there. Well, touching that particular one for Barcelona, they celebrated right now. For Real Madrid, they go back, they sit down and watch their game and say, okay, we made errors here, we need to improve on it. Hopefully, they will pick up from there where they drop the Barcelona there. From there, let's talk about the big one that happened over the weekend. Yes, Liverpool, Premier League. Of course, this particular league has been won since 1902. Maybe I should say that because I know if you look at it, Premier League, Liverpool wins 24 season, 25 season because of the fact that they did it in style. Not just to win 1-0, 5-1. That's massive against Tottenham Hotspur. And right now, Ancelotti has joined the league of those big coaches who did it at the first time. Jose Mourinho, Ranieri himself, and they have at least been able to be there right now. Well, good one. Congrats to Ancelotti. Congrats to Liverpool. The team really that never walk alone. They call it the Corps. They show their class. And right now, I have to give it to Liverpool for what they did against Tottenham Hotspur and winning the league as against a team. Anyway, let me keep quiet first. But sincerely, coming from Peter Drury, always know how to play with when it comes to football commentary, especially this particular final. Let me call it final because Liverpool made it look like final yesterday. And congrats to them, the team that never walk alone. As against a team, they've been working alone 1, 2, 3 years, trying to see how they can win the league. Well, I just don't understand how it is. Liverpool, they've done it. They've done this thing since January. It's just let's just give them a chance. I believe that maybe they can win it. Some teams, right?
Why your finger pointing and pointing?
My finger is not pointing.
Come out and talk to me.
I said some teams. You are not some teams.
Come out and talk to me.
Seriously?
Let me know you're talking to me.
Okay, let's have it. If you want me to come out and talk to you,
yes, please.
Take a look at this. Arsenal, 1, 2, 3 years, back to back. Try to be second. What's the problem?
You know, it's not a problem. When I look at Arsenal Football Club, I see a club that is progressing. And I see a club that left somewhere and is going.
Let me pause you. Raymond Stars, second. They won it now.
They won it. Yeah.
Arsenal, second.
Every club has their story. Every club has their story.
Kabiru is telling you something.
Arsenal, you know your problem.
No problem. I know my problem. That's all I can say. But seriously, 2019, Arsenal were in shambles when Mikel Arteta came in to the club. After he came in, second UEFA Cup qualification. 8-8 UEFA Cup qualification. Before then, later on, Champions League qualification. Second round. Now quarterfinals, now semi-finals. So when I look at the football club Arsenal, I see progress. Yes, they did not win the league, and I'm not going to pretend to be naive that yes, they should have won it this season, because coming into this season, I was very confident. I sat on this seat August. Even if I wasn't here, I think I was on Zoom when I showed you that Arsenal were going to win the Premier League. Come December, I said Arsenal wasn't going to win the Premier League. And yes, they didn't win the Premier League. And it's all down to two things. And it's not within their power because they can't control that. Injury, Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes. These are the four most important players as at then what the Arsenal were feeling that went injured at one point of the season or the other. Four most important players. Now let's go back and replay that on Liverpool and see. If Liverpool had Van Dijk, Mohamed Salah, if they have had Luis Diaz, and maybe a Gravenberg injured, they wouldn't be the champions today. Because you would agree with me that half of the goals that were scored was contributed by Mohamed Salah in one way or the other, either scoring or assisting. Now, that is what Arsenal went through. Aside that, over 11 points because of referee mistakes happened to Arsenal this season. It is documented. All of which, if Liverpool had faced that, I'm sure this discussion won't be discussing this right now. So if you tell me Arsenal second, Arsenal almost, Arsenal seeing the promised land and not reaching it, I look at you and laugh. Because I knew when Arsenal were very, very low, they had no hope. Now look at where they are. They are in the discussion of the league. They are in the discussion of the Champions League, the two most important competitions. So when I look at that club, all I see is progression. I do not have any regret.
This face can be wrong. I'll tell you.
I'll face you because you are the one that always. Excuse me, sir. Let me face.
You are not doing anything.
Let me face the presenter because he is the only all the time. He is the one bringing one image like that. He has one image to display. He has one finger to point like this.
No, you actually said something, during the course of the argument that two things made Arsenal to be,
not win the league.
Smelling the glory land and not touching the glory land.
You can call it whatever you want to call it.
You understand? So you said, number one, injuries is bound to happen to players. But the second one you said, I don't agree with you.
You may not agree.
That the referee mistakes and all that. So
do you know how many red cards and how many disallowed goals and how many allowed goals against Arsenal that happened this season? It deducted 11 points. And this thing I'm telling you is not something that is, I made it up. It's documented. The PGMOL themselves, some of these things, they apologized for it.
Aside that, I think one thing about Arsenal is you need to go back to the drawing board, as you have said. Sit down very well. Instead of the set, look at what Raymond did. Maybe you have to trade Raymond. Forget about that. They are Premier and NPL. You have to trade Raymond start. Second, and they came to ovation. But you second,
another second.
Referee, if you don't blame referee, you say it has been documented.
My goodness.
I'm not blaming referee for anything. I'm telling you what happened. If those two conditions had happened to Liverpool, we won't be discussing this.
Okay, I just have to cut you guys there. If you allow this, we'll talk to tomorrow. But for Liverpool, oh my goodness, they deserve this. They deserve this.
Yeah, sure.
They actually deserve this. They've done well. And you have to give it up to Anslor, the man that came, saw and conquered. Immediately he came on, joining the likes of Jose Mourinho and Ranieri and others who actually the ones they started and they won the Premier League. Congrats to Liverpool. Congrats to Remo Stars and all the other teams that won the league across the globe. What a moment there for Akanis Mbine, South African man doing well against Chris Coleman. That's a fantastic run of his life. And also for Daniel Williams, coming first in the 100-meter women hold by the chairman Diamond League. Toby Amison started his season with a fourth on that role there. Well, right now, before we go, well, just at least, let me console you a bit. Real Madrid, they lost. Arsenal, they also lost. So, how we go do them? Should I create a club for you and call it
Ask Madrid.
Rina.
Okay, that sounds very
Rina FC. Good one. Yes, thanks so much, KB, and also Joseph. Thank you very much. I'm Adeni Ajishafe. It's always business and fitness. Thanks for watching.